Introduction. You know the deal by now. Souls games don't hold your hand. I usually lean towards story-driven, cinematic games, the kind that push forward with purpose. Shooters, action adventures, stories built on emotion and momentum. But somehow I always end up back here, back in the worlds by FromSoftware, where everything feels haunted, beautiful, and cruelly alive. There is something about the atmosphere, the world building, and that quiet sense of tragedy that always pulls me in, even when it wears me down. So here's my full take on Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree. Visuals and world design. Let's get one thing out of the way first. The art direction is unreal. From the grand towers to the armor, the weapons, the ruins, everything looks handcrafted with purpose. You can feel the ghosts of civilization behind every broken statue and cracked temple wall. It's easily one of the most visually inspired worlds ever created in a game. But beneath that beauty, the world doesn't really move. It looks alive, but it never feels alive. You can ride across deserts, mountains, and divine towers, yet nothing ever changes because of you. It's stunning but static. Moments that should reshape the land, victories, choices, endings happen off-screen. The world resets, the cycle continues, and your presence never truly leaves a mark. And I get it. That's the point. A realm trapped in rebirth, a curse of eternal return, is thematically perfect. It's just not the kind of storytelling that connects with me. If the world had evolved with the player, even slightly, it could have been transcendent. Instead, it's a masterpiece frozen in time, breathtaking to look at, distant to live in. Sound design. FromSoft's audio work is consistently strong here. The mix feels deliberate, every weapon swing, ambient echo, and layer of music sits exactly where it should. The soundtrack builds atmosphere without drowning the moment, and the environmental soundscapes do most of the storytelling. It's not flashy, just confident. Well-crafted sound design that does its job perfectly. Gameplay. Elden Ring gives you freedom like few games ever do. It doesn't tell you how to play, it just gives you tools and lets you how to figure it out. You can reinvent yourself endlessly, change builds, switch weapons, exploring any direction. That sense of discovery never really fades. And when the systems align, when your build, timing, and instincts click, the combat feels incredible. There's a clarity to it, a rhythm that rewards focus and awareness. The DLC carries that energy forward. Mesmir stands as one of the most cinematic and emotionally charged bosses in the entire series. Every move, every frame of animation feels intentional. It's one of those fights that reminds you why FromSoft is unmatched in encounter design. The final battle with promised consort Radon didn't connect with me as much. It's grand, yes, but more spectacle than substance. Still, the journey there, the environment, the tone, the escalating tension is brilliant. Shadow of the Erdtree feels like the best parts of Bloodborne and Elden Ring merge into one vision. Elegant, punishing, and unforgettable. Story and lore. This is where the experience loses me. I respect what FromSoft does with the cryptic storytelling, the fragments, the mystery, the open interpretation, but I've never felt attached to it. The ideas themselves are powerful. A shattered world, divine ambition, The search for meaning inside decay. It's all there, but it's hidden under layers of abstraction. Most of the story lives in menus, item descriptions, or background text. And while I understand that's the style, it doesn't resonate with me. It feels detached, like reading poetry written for ghosts. I prefer storytelling that unfolds through motion, through interaction, something closer to Sekiro, where story and gameplay move together as one. By the time I reached the DLC, I wasn't chasing the lore anymore, just the experience. The world had already told me everything I needed to know. It's a cycle, it's a loop, a world that refuses to die. So I ended mine with a frenzied flame, not as destruction, but as release. A way of saying, enough repetition, let the world burn and become something new. Personal take. The combat is the strongest part of the experience. Switching weapons, experimenting with builds, learning timing, that's where the magic happens. When the flow hits, it's pure momentum. But as a whole, the game starts to wear on you, not because it's challenging, but because of its design rhythm. Some areas are unforgettable, others feels like echoes of something greater. That imbalance defines the journey. By the end, I didn't feel glory or frustration, just completion. Like I'd experienced something monumental yet uneven. A game filled with brilliance, but also burdened by its own scale. There were moments that amazed me, moments that tested my patience, and moments that genuinely inspired me. That duality is what makes Elden Ring special. Elden Ring is beautiful and flawed, ambitious to a point of exhaustion. I got through it the same way I approach everything else, with focus, curiosity, and the drive to see what lies beyond. Closing thoughts. Elden Ring is the culmination of everything FromSoftware has been building for over a decade. It's massive, bold, and uncompromising. Even when I critique it, I can't deny the brilliance behind its creation. Every visual, every sound, every world detail carries intent. It's a game built by people who understand how to make something feel monumental. But it's also overexerted, a masterpiece stretched past its natural edge. It doesn't need to be bigger, it needs to be tighter, more human, less infinite. Still, it stands as a landmark, a statement on creative will and persistence. It's not a game you just play, it's one you survive, interpret, and reflect on. For some, it's the greatest game ever made. For me, it's an experience I deeply respect. One I'm glad to have seen through, but not one I'm eager to repeat. This was Dragon, and that concludes my journey through Elden Ring and Shadow of the Erdtree. It's been a long road, beautiful, brutal, and unforgettable in its own way. Next up, Gears of War Reloaded, a full cinematic playthrough of the Gears of War saga, rebuilt and remastered the way it deserves to be seen. Until then, keep exploring and never lose sight of the fire.